Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this event, Focus on Fitness. My name's Josh Kelleher. I'll get right into it. I live in Portland, Oregon with my beautiful wife, Erin Kelleher, and our son, Keegan, who's a year and a half old. Just a little ball of energy. I'm really excited to share just kind of my journey on fitness and my perspective on fitness today. It's something that is ever evolving, and I'm really excited to share with you where I'm at today. So a little bit about me personally is, like I said, I live in Portland. I've always been a super active individual from young age. I grew up at a camp in upstate New York where I was just running around every day. I got to grow up as a kid at a camp. It was amazing. Run through the woods, played every sport you can imagine. Growing up, high school, I ran cross country and track, and I was a wrestler. And then I joined the Air Force, and during my time in the Air Force, I actually got to be in Italy, and over there I got to coach wrestling, and I got to snowboard. Amazing snowboarding over there. I got to do mixed martial arts. I started studying mixed martial arts while I was there, and I also got to play semi-professional football. After my time in the military, I got to finish my first marathon, triathlons. Out here in Portland, I started taking up rock climbing and bouldering, which I love. So I'm a very active individual. I love hiking, I love camping, I love, going on outdoor adventures. So all of those things are fantastic. I am a installation and service engineer by trade. In the Air Force, I was an avionics technician. So I work with machine tools now. I work at Boeing here in Portland. So back to fitness. I'll let this plane go by. Back to fitness. My time in the Air Force, where I got to be a coach, I also got to be a physical training leader there, and I identified really quickly as I'm working with people of different ranges that not everybody's like me, and that's great. I don't want everyone to be like me, but I'm the type of person that even from a young age I love to just push my limits. I'm that young, 50-pound fifth grader trying to carry in all the groceries at one time. When I ran track my sophomore year of high school, I was on pace for a 4:35 mile, and I blew out my hip while running because I wasn't listening to my body, and I didn't know how to do anything but just push myself the hardest that I possibly could. So as a coach, what I found real quickly was that, I loved identifying people's limits and just pushing them right to that point where they're not going to break physically or mentally, but where they get done with a workout or they get done with a challenge and they're able to be like, wow, I didn't even know I had that in me. Something about that is amazing to me. So my first point today is I want to encourage you guys to set yourself up for success as you push your limits. Know your body, know who you are mentally, know who you are physically. If you think, oh, I can't do a push-up, that's fine, that's great. Set yourself up to do one day. Start really small and set yourself up for success in small ways. If you are a little more extreme, and set bigger goals as you go along and build up to them. Don't go try to run 10 miles today. So as someone who loves to sit on the edge of cliffs and looks down, there's something about that makes me feel alive. Find something that makes you feel alive and set yourself up to succeed in it. So that's number one for me. Number two is identifying a motivator. So that's so different for each of us. Some people are motivated by others seeing them succeed or push themselves. Others could care less. For me, I am very motivated by being an example for other people. I can't lie about it. I think that's part of why I love coaching, especially high school kids, is because I love to push myself to show them and identify what they can do, but also be an example for them. But I have a son now, so I'm just getting back for a run, and I'm thinking, man, I'm going to be able to keep up with him in my 50s. I'm going to give this kid a run for his money. And it's not a competitive thing. It's just something that motivates me, right? So there's other things like, for me, when I work a long 10, 12-hour day and I'm on concrete all day and I have to go train for a marathon, I don't want to go run 18 miles. So instead, I get home, I put my gym clothes on, and I won't allow myself to shower, because shower is the number one motivator for me when I'm just by myself and no one's watching. So whatever it is in your life, just identify a motivator for yourself on those days where, you know, you've set yourself up for success. You've joined an activity, you've entered into a 5K, you've done something like that motivates you to push to work out every day. And on days where you can't work out, identify something else that you know about yourself that you're like, well, no one's watching right now, but I still am going to do this for me, and here's something that can help me along the way. I'm going to try to go through my points real fast because this is just a short video. But the next thing I noticed about working with people in the world of health is that people, especially younger people, including myself, don't think about long-term health. I'm the guy that is trying to follow my cousin, jumping 30-foot gaps on my snowboard and just landing. And you know, they say go big or go home, and I went home a lot, and I spent a lot of time at home during not spending my full time of a day during working out, or because I pushed myself way too hard. Something I see at a rock climbing gym that blows me away all the time is like these 40, 45, 50-year-old guys who are just crushing it. They're amazing. And the more and more I went to the gym, I saw these guys giving like 20-year-olds who are just amazing climbers run for their money. They show up an hour before the 20-year-olds and they're working out and they're stretching and they're making sure their mind is right and they're making sure their body's right and they're making sure their nutrition's right. I know it. You look at them and you know that they're taking care of those three quadrants: brain, body, that's including what you're eating, and then your spirit. Like they got that covered. Otherwise they wouldn't be on that wall doing what they're doing. It's just amazing to watch them. Same thing with marathons. I grew up watching my dad run a marathon in all 50 states, and you see the older guys at the marathon, the older women at the marathons, and those people, they stretch. They make sure that they're getting there early to make sure that their body and their minds are ready to go. And for anyone who's younger out there, this was me talking to myself 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Set yourself up for success, identify your motivators, but also think long-term about your health, because you only get this one body. So that's kind of a big change that happened for me around 25. Is I had this whole image of like I needed to work out to make my body work for whatever it was I'm going to do, and I only was looking at the external portion of my body. I wasn't thinking about the insides. I wasn't thinking about, you know, all the horrible food that I was putting into my body was clinging to my organs and how that was affecting that. I wasn't thinking about, you know, oxidative stress. I wasn't thinking about, you know, how important things like fruits and vegetables are in my diet, because they're the ones that fight off, you know, everything, fight off inflammation. I'm not going to get into all that right now, but yeah, I really had this huge shift in my brain, and over the last, I would say 10 years, I've been working really hard, and another plane, been working really hard on identifying how I can, you know, make my external body strong by letting my insides do the majority of the work for me. You know, the saying six-pack really starts in the kitchen's true. So I'm going to finish up here just by saying that humility, I think, is one of the number one attributes in an athlete, and I don't normally wear shirts like Born for Greatness because I try to be a humble person. But on days like today where I didn't want to go work out, it's one of my motivators, and I'm getting out there saying, you know, I really kind of, I'm like, oh, these guys are saying, look at this guy, he's saying he's born for greatness. But for me, it's more of a reminder to myself that I am born for greatness. But to you guys, I want to say the same thing. Like, each and every one of you are born to do something great, and taking care of your body, no matter how you do it, is part of that success. So no matter what you are doing and no matter how you're built, like, taking care of your body has to be number one to set yourself up for success. So getting your body right, getting your brain right, and getting your spirit right is all part of this focus on fitness. So I just want to say thank you guys for taking this 10 minutes to listen to me. I really appreciate it. You have 4 other guys that are going to share their story tonight, and they're fantastic. Next one up is Ben Patterson. Him and his wife live in Ohio. Him and his wife and his 4 kids live in Ohio. Ben was a environmental scientist for 15 years. Amber, his wife, is a doctor. She's a physician, specifically working in the world of allergies. And they have 4 amazing kids. Ben decided to quit his job as a scientist and start a career with Juice Plus so he could stay at home with his 4 kids. So I'm going to pass the torch to him and let him explain kind of his mindset on fitness with running around chasing after 4 kids and keeping up with them. Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it again, and I hope you have a great day.